Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat basketball channel. My name is Amir. Before I get into the video today, I just want to thank everybody for supporting my channel. I'm on my path to 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that would mean a lot. So for today's video, I want to talk about a podcast that Gilbert Arenas has, and he was talking today about the Boston Celtics. And the funny thing is he's bashing the Celtics right now because they claim to still be one of the best NBA franchises. They claim to still be a dynasty, even though they've been irrelevant for the past 30 years, essentially. So he is talking about how the Boston Celtics fans are always talking about how they've won 17 championships, which is a huge accomplishment. Don't get me wrong. And he said, basically, though, all of the championships came from the early 50s, 60s, and 70s, basically, when they were a major dynasty. But all of that happened when there was 8 teams in the NBA. Basically, when African Americans weren't allowed to play in basketball, there was no free agency, there was no trades. Basically, the Celtics had the best players during those eras, and there was only 8 teams or 12 teams in the league. So that's fine that they were a dynasty and the best team back then, but what have you done for me lately is what he's basically saying. Like, Paul Pierce always talks about how the Boston Celtics are the greatest team ever and how they're an amazing franchise, which is true. They're a good franchise, but what have they done lately? They've won one championship in the last 30 years, and that was in 2008. That's it. So he basically said, in the last 30 years, Boston has been irrelevant in basketball history. You walk around like you have shit on your chest. Nobody remembers you, which is funny because, again, I'm looking now back at the 17 championships. So Celtics won in 1957, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 68, 69, 74, 76, and 80. The most recent dynasty was with Larry Bird and Robert Parrish and McHale. That was 81, 84, and 86. And then 2008. So basically, since the 1990s, the Boston Celtics have only won one championship in 34 years. In 34 years, one championship. I love that he came out and called them out. I mean, Laker fans are similar. They're not as bad because they won championships more so in like the 70s and 80s and 90s, of course. But it was less competitive in that sense because you only had to get through 8 teams. Unlike today, you have to win with 30 teams in the league, and it's more competitive and players are better. There's just different variables, including free agency and trades, to make teams better. So teams improve all the time. New contenders pop up here and there all the time. So I just love the fact that he's calling the Boston Celtics out because they think their shit don't stink, which is not true. So in 34 years, they've won one championship. So good for them. Obviously, I don't know how they won that one with Doc Rivers as their coach. That's a miracle. Obviously, they have very good players in Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. So happy that KG got a championship, technically, because I like KG. But it's funny because if you compare them to the Miami Heat's franchise, when did the Miami Heat become a team? 1988. So 35 years. So in 35 years, as an organization, the Miami Heat have 3 championships and most recently have went to 2 NBA finals in the last 4 years. And no one gives them the credibility that they deserve. We've won 3 championships in 34 years. They've won 1. And that was a franchise that is only 35 years old. The Boston Celtics were founded in 1947. They've been around for 75, 76 years. So of course they should have 17 championships. Of course, if the Miami Heat has played for 70 years, they would have more than 3 championships, in my opinion, because they would have only had to be 8 or 10 or 12 teams before it was 30 teams. So I just love this video. I love it anytime someone calls out the Boston Celtics because all the Boston fans think that they are guaranteed to win a championship this year, or at least guaranteed to go to the finals. And hey, there's a high likelihood that they will get to the finals because they are one of the best teams in the East, if not the best team in the East. And they retooled from last year and added Drew Holiday and Porzingis, so they have a good team, but they don't have a lot of depth. And so, hey, shit happens. They've been lucky with health. Outside of KP, Porzingis is always going to miss some games. He's missed like 20 this season. Drew Holiday Jason Tatum and Brown have missed like 15 games combined together. So we know Jimmy Butler has already missed 21 on his own. Tyler Hero's missed over 30. Bam has missed 11. So if they're healthy, Boston's going to be a super tough out. But if the Miami Heat are healthy, again, then we're going to be a tough out as well. And I don't think Boston's going to want to play the Miami Heat if we can get Tyler Hero back and Kevin Love and Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo and whoever else is hurt on this team. But either way, I don't think Boston wants to see us, and it's no guarantee that they're going to win a championship because they've done it once in the last 30 years. So anyway, just wanted to make this quick video highlighting that I like that Gilbert Arenas has basically called out the Boston Celtics fans for talking so much crap right now when they've done nothing really in the past 30 years. Before that, dynasty, of course, 17 championships, dominated the 50s and 60s, but that's the 50s and 60s. We're in 2020 now. We're in the 2020s now. So what have you done for me lately, Boston? Nothing. So anyway, that's all I have for today's video. Miami Heat are going to be playing the Pelicans today. So the Miami Heat are 38 and 31, 7th seed right now, tied with the Sixers, but we have the tiebreaker. So we're in the 7th seed. We're half a game behind the Pacers, and we are now 3 games from the Knicks, which are the 5th seed, and we are 3.5 games from the Magic, which are the 4th seed. Going to be hard to get to the Magic. They're 42 and 28. They've been playing great. Not a good road team. We have the tiebreaker over them. So 3.5 games. If they go on a 3-game losing streak, we go on a 4-game winning streak, we can move up to the 4th. So hopefully the Miami Heat can get healthy. Duncan Robinson is going to be out tonight, unfortunately. Tyler Hero obviously out indefinitely. Kevin Love still out. And Bam Adebayo is questionable. Hopefully he plays tonight. We don't know if he's going to play, but I'm assuming Jimmy Butler is going to be good to go. He played last game, so we need him. But yeah, we still have a chance, man. I mean, we're literally 5 games from the 3rd seed. I'm not saying we're going to get that. We only have 14 games left. That's going to be hard. But 5 games from the 3rd, like, we have a chance to avoid the play-in, and that's all that matters. We just need the 6th seed at all costs. Just avoid the play-in. We're only half a game from the 6th seed. Just continue to do what you can and win 1 game at a time. We should be able to win against the Pelicans because there's big news that Brandon Ingram is going to be out. He's arguably their best offensive player, maybe not overall, but I don't know. I'd probably put him ahead of Zion because Zion's always hurt. But they have a huge front court to have to deal with tonight. So if Bam Adebayo's out tonight, that's going to be rough. They got Valanciunas and they have big boy Zion who love to play bully ball in the paint. And so we need Bam out there because Jovic is going to be taken advantage of by either Valanciunas or Zion. He's going to have to guard one or the other. Or he might guard Herb Jones. I don't know if he would, perhaps. But we're going to have to play Thomas Bryant and Orlando, especially if Kevin Love and Bam are out. And that's going to be a tough matchup for them against Zion or Valanciunas. But either way, that's my update today. Hopefully the Heat win. I'll be on another post-game show tonight after the game. So go Heat.